All right, welcome to the deep dive. We've been looking through a whole stack of sources today, and they're all pointing to something pretty big globally.
Yeah, seems like a major career boom is building up in the mining industry.
Exactly, expected to really hit hard in 2025. So our mission with this deep dive is simple.
Yeah.
Get straight to the practical stuff for you.
Right. Cut through the noise.
Understand where the opportunity actually is, what jobs are opening up, what the pay might look like, and crucially, how you might actually get involved.
And the material we looked at, it really focuses on a few key spots: India, the Philippines, and the US. And they all seem to highlight one core reason behind this boom. A pretty serious talent shortage.
A brutal shortage was the phrase used in one source. That sounds like opportunity.
It really does. The industry needs skilled people, like right now, across the board. It's not just a minor thing. It's substantial demand.
Okay, so where's the most immediate need then, based on what we read?
Well, what's interesting is how varied it is. It really depends on the specific minerals and what stage the operations are at.
Right.
So in India, the big push seems to be around battery metals, lithium, cobalt, nickel stuff needed for EV batteries.
Ah, okay. The green transition driving it there.
Exactly. Companies like MECL were mentioned as really aggressively hiring geologists, exploration techs, basically people to find the deposits.
Finding the stuff first.
Yeah.
Got it. And then what? The operational side.
That seems to be where the Philippines comes in strongly. Huge demand mentioned for underground mechanics and safety officers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Operating gear and keeping things safe in those, tricky underground spots takes very specific skills. And the sources suggest there's a real gap there.
Okay. India finding it, Philippines operating it. What about the U.S.?
Demand is strong there, too, especially in, the classic mining states like Wyoming and Nevada. Mostly for mining engineers.
Traditional roles.
Yes, but not just traditional roles. That's what really jumped out. The sources emphasize this kind of transformation happening.
A transformation. Bringing in roles you definitely wouldn't associate with mining, say, 20 years ago.
Precisely. Like ESG specialists, that's environmental, social governance. They're now critical. Companies are under pressure, regarding sustainability, ethical stuff.
Right, that makes sense.
And then there's the whole tech angle. People skilled in AI integrated surveying, automation. We're talking roles that could apparently fetch six figures.
Six figures, wow.
Yeah. The industry is clearly integrating data analysis, advanced tech, green compliance really fast. Automation skills are super valuable because, it's just safer and more efficient sometimes to let machines or drones do the risky or repetitive jobs.
That mix of old industry and new tech is pretty compelling. Okay, let's talk bottom line. What do the sources say about pay?
Well, it reflects that talent shortage we mentioned. For example, entry-level mining engineers in the U.S. cited around $70,000.
Okay, decent start.
Yeah. And in the Philippines, a project safety head might get up to $45,000, which is, very competitive locally.
And India?
A lithium site manager role could apparently go over $90,000, especially if you factor in bonuses.
So the money's there. What about those newer tech roles?
Yeah.
AI operators you mentioned.
Right. The sources suggested AI and drone operators could earn close to $100,000 in places like the U.S. and Australia.
Wow.
It just shows how much they value that combination of sort of operational know-how and high-tech skill.
Okay, so if you're listening and thinking, this sounds interesting, but how do I actually break in? What are the entry points? What did the sources suggest?
That's a key question. And the sources offered some practical paths. Seems the industry's open to different backgrounds.
Good.
Quick entry routes include getting certified in specific mining software. Things like Serpac or Leapfrog were mentioned. They're industry standards for design and planning.
Software skills.
And in places like the Philippines, vocational courses, maybe even just a year long, were highlighted as direct paths into technical jobs. Also, online data analytics programs specifically tailored for mining seem increasingly valuable.
So training's one way. Anything else?
Networking. Definitely networking. Internships with junior exploration companies, the ones doing the early stage searching, that came up as a great way to get experience and meet people.
Makes sense. Get your hands dirty.
Yeah, and attending industry expos like PDS or Mining Philippines were also mentioned as key places to connect. The overall vibe from the sources is that the industry is really actively looking for new talent, even if you don't have that traditional 4-year mining engineering degree.
Right. So pulling all this together from the sources, what's the big picture, the main takeaway here?
I think it's that the mining industry is fundamentally changing. It's not just digging stuff up anymore. They're actively looking for skilled people across a much wider range of disciplines.
Tech, environment, data,
Exactly. People driven by technology, by environmental standards, by the need for really efficient data-backed operations. And the demand is high, and it's like right now.
Yeah, the sources are really clear. They're recruiting actively. If you have skills in, say, traditional drilling or technical operations, or in newer areas like coding for automation, data analysis, safety management, 2025 looks like a genuine window of opportunity.
Mhm.
The door seems open whether you're just starting out or maybe looking for a big career change later on.
And it really stands out that the mines are modernizing, and the pay is getting competitive, reflecting just how badly these skills are needed.
So here's a final thought to leave you with based on this deep dive. Given this huge, diverse demand for skills across global mining, especially in data, automation, ESG, alongside the core roles, does this mean the old school image of a mining career is just, well, fundamentally outdated now?
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
And does that maybe challenge your own assumptions about
Yeah.
where surprising, well-paid career opportunities might actually pop up in the next few years? Something to think about.